Hi, this is Dan, and you are watching iAllegedly. I've got a good one for you today. Because what do you do when a bank ruins your credit? Okay? What happens? What do you do in that situation? We're going to cover that today. Please, as always, like these videos. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Ageless Collagen. But let's get right into it. Cher wrote me and sent me a great email talking about how she and her husband have spent years working on their credit, and she's very proud of the fact that they both have 800 credit scores, and it took years to get this, and it was hard work and perseverance, and very proud of herself. Well, she got a letter a little over a week and a half ago from Wells Fargo, and again, thank God she gets paper statements so they could send this to her, okay? Hey, listen, when you paid off that auto loan, we, recorded it with the credit agencies wrong. So Equifax, Experian, all that fun stuff, and TransUnion, and did it wrong. In other words, you didn't pay the car off. The car is late. But we've corrected it since that time, and shouldn't affect your credit. So again, here's the letter that they sent her. This is outrageous, guys. Okay, this is outrageous that they did this. So I've had people write me in the past about little issues. Here's the one that really floored me from a year ago that I still get emails on, and that is people go out and pay off their home. Okay, where is the deed to your house that it's paid off? Who has that? Oh, I don't know, Dan. I have no idea. Well, you want to get that, guys, if the house gets paid off. If you're lucky enough to live and not have a mortgage payment, you need to get this because things happen. Things get sold to Mr. Cooper, okay? Let's put it that way. I had a veteran write me, but he didn't say that it was okay to use his name, so I'm not going to use his name. But he used veteran financing and a VA lender to get his home loan. He said, Dan, it was great. It was fantastic. Guess what they did? They sold off the loan to, say it, Mr. Cooper. And one thing that they forgot to do was update the property taxes. So the guy was making basically $70 a month payments that were too light for the taxes. So then what they do, they hit him with an assessment. Now your payment goes up $400 a month to make up for the shortfall. Okay? You guys pay attention to stuff like this, and it's awful. It's awful that this happened, okay? So what are you gonna do? Seriously. But this is happening more and more and more. So Cher, thank you for sending me this. You guys, keep an eye out for stuff like this. When I look through my emails today and all the emails I've gotten from the bank, hey, how'd we do when you were in the branch, Dan? Customer service, delete, 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 okay? But if you get something from them in writing, you're going to, wow, what's the bank sending us, hon? Oh my gosh. They said that we didn't pay the car off and they reported us late. How about that? How about that one? Okay? So thank you, Cher. Again, you wonder why Wells Fargo gets their brain suit out all the time. It's lovely reasons for that, like this. The bond market and the banks have put so much money in this area that they are on the verge of so many of them going out of business. You're going to see real problems with Bank of America. Protect yourself, make sure that things are correct, look at your bank statements, look at your credit card statements, check your credit report on a regular basis, at least once a quarter. Do it. If you're actively buying something. If you're retired and you don't care about this, don't worry about it. If you don't have any loans, don't worry about this stuff. But check it, because you'd be surprised. Sometimes people go out and are nefarious, and they go out and buy things in your name, okay? So it's happening too much. And we're seeing that more and more and more right now. Beware of the text messages that you get and what you click on, because the banks are getting more and more fed up with giving people their money back, and they're not doing that like they used to. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, because this is happening more and more. And have you ever had the bank record something incorrectly? Let me know, okay? Because you're not alone when this happens. And thank you, Cher, for sending me this. Let's talk about our sponsor, Ageless Multi-Collagen. When we are 20, we have an abundance of collagen flowing through us and in our body. As we get older, our skin gets that crepey look to it, and people think, oh, it's just aging. No, it's because we don't have collagen in our system. We have about 20% of the collagen in our 50s that we had when we were 20. You can do something about that. You can take a scoop each day of Ageless Multi-Collagen from BioTrust, put it in a drink, hot, cold, anything. Doesn't add any flavor to it. It is absolutely tasteless. It's fantastic, but it'll make a huge difference on your skin health, your nail health, your hair health, and your eye health too. You know, I have been taking this now for 4 months. I absolutely love it. Go to healthwithdan.com and save over 50% off the regular price. Healthwithdan.com. It's absolutely amazing. And think about this. 5 different types of collagen from 4 premium sources. It comes from the good people at BioTrust who have shipped over 15 million products. Go to healthwithdan.com today and check it out. Nice winter day. We've heard so much over the last 2 years about how fed up landlords are with tenants that don't pay their rent. Well, Rafiqil Islam in Brooklyn, he stepped it up a notch. And he's a landlord, and he was tired that a family of 8 was living in one of his properties and can't afford the rent, and you can't do anything, you're not kicking us out. He says, yeah, I can. So he torched the place, lit the place on fire. Now, 6 of the 8 people were hospitalized for smoke inhalation, but thank God they got out okay, and this guy, Psycho, did that. So again, not a way to settle things, guys, but man, oh man, crazy. Just everything is off right now, and people think that they can do things like this and take matters into their own hands. It's nuts. Now, right now, one thing that we had over the summer that was real big was we had more people purchasing homes using cash than we have in forever, okay? It almost hit 30%. 29.5% of all purchases in the United States were of cash, okay? Wow, you're doing really well if you can afford cash for your house. Now, what happened in September was it stepped it up a notch. People are tired of 8% mortgages. You want the house? I'll write you a check for cash. Now, here is the thing that so many people have written me about, is that if you sell here in California and you move someplace else, you got houses that appear to be free compared to what they are here. If somebody sells a house and let's say that they get 800 grand for their house and they only owe 200,000 on it, and they can clear 550,000 after they get clipped from their real estate agent and pay the closing costs, you can go buy a house for cash someplace. And that's what people are doing, more and more of that. Now, one big problem that's happening right now is that people that are moving out of California and trying to move back can't afford to move back right now. So you're seeing real problems with this, where people can't afford to relocate back. A couple great stories. I heard from my landscaper gardener today, who's fantastic. And Freddie's great, and Freddie's family, the entire family's in it. Freddie just, came and said, hey, listen, I'm sorry that I sent my cousin out last week, and I was traveling, so I didn't know, and the house looks great, so everything's good. He goes, listen, my uncle moved here from Texas, and couldn't make a go of it. So we're taking over his client list. Now, what do you think? 5, 8 clients? No, 50. 50 clients the uncle built and couldn't make a go of it. So Freddie added the 50 to his clientele and brought in another cousin, and they're doing their thing. But guys, the problem with it is that the uncle didn't realize, lived in California 25 years ago, comes back out here and realized how expensive it is. Now, the deal he made in Texas with the guy that he gave up the root to was like, listen, if I ever come back in 2 years, you have to give me the root back. So he got the root back, and he immediately went back to his old clients back there. So kind of wild, okay? So my insurance man moved to Texas, and hates the weather, hates how hot it is. The house is much cheaper, but can't afford to come back to California. Really common thing. Another one was two traveling nurses that are married. Now think about this. I'm not laughing at this, but it's something I always talk to you guys about, and that is go investigate the house. Go investigate the area. Investigate this thing called crime and crime statistics in your area. These people were traveling nurses. Great, successful, moved from San Diego, California. They then moved to Ohio. Dan, I had no idea how bad it was. They've written me to tell me that they can't leave their house and how bad it is. And they can't get back here because they used everything to come to Ohio, and now they can't get back to California. Real common theme, guys, real common theme. So I don't care if you move down the street, investigate the houses right now. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody was so eager to. We got to move right now. You got to make a decision. And it's ridiculous. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. And, the landlord that torched the house, I'm sure there's a special place for him. Just think, those people don't have to pay rent for a very long time, okay? Share your thoughts on this one. One thing that we can't ignore is how expensive housing is. Rents are through the roof. Think about this, the average rent in California is $2,700. It's basically 60% of the average income right now. That's crazy, guys. It is absolutely too much. Mackenzie Bezos, Jeff's ex-wife, she stepped forward and just donated out of the blue $15 million to Century Housing Fund in Culver City. And, they're thrilled to get that because it was a complete, surprise. And she also donated $8 million to the Bridge Fund. And the next thing is the San Francisco Land Trust. They got another $20 million from her. So again, trying to make good, with all this money that she's got, and she's clearly doing it, clearly doing some philanthropy. So anyways, I'm age appropriate. If Mackenzie's available, guys, moderately successful and handsome, okay? Mid to late 50s, you know what I mean? So hook me up. Next thing, Peter Schiff, our main man Peter Schiff, who is gloom and doom times 50. Peter Schiff steps forward and tool. Peter Schiff steps forward and he is talking about how we've got a real problem with everything right now. So again, eventually Peter Schiff's going to be right, you guys. Peter Schiff's going to nail it when everything is bad. So share your thoughts on this stuff. The bond market yesterday was a complete disaster, and we're going to talk to Bob Kudla and get his opinion on everything. But share your thoughts on this stuff, guys, so far. Where is it inexpensive to buy a home? Tell me that. The one that floored me this week was Indiana. Anybody else? Anybody else? Any other areas that are worth looking at? Let me know. Share your thoughts. And also, you don't want it to be in a war zone, okay? You want crime to be a minimal. You want there to be families and parks and places to go eat, things like that. Share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. A few more things to cover. And remember the hangar that was burning in Tustin? Part of my childhood, part of a lot of people's childhood. I had over a dozen people email me different stories about this. But one thing that we knew about that building was that was back in the day when they layered it with asbestos all over that place. Now that it's burning, there's a real problem with asbestos particles in the air. So much so that yesterday they had to close the Tustin school district down. Every school within the area. Now I had people freak out. You filmed that. It was blowing the other direction. And I'm okay. But benzene, asbestos, all that horrible stuff that's in those buildings are a real problem. And again, why couldn't they build there? Why couldn't they do this? It's things like this, guys. Dumping, helicopter fluid into the ground is horrible for the environment. And, there's the notice that was sent out to the school. They posted, I love that they did this. They posted on Instagram. Now, gee, for us folks that are working during the day and aren't checking Instagram, you know what I mean? When my kids were in school, what are you doing? Okay? So, ridiculous, guys, ridiculous. A friend of mine, Jeff, whose family is in the meat business, fish, beef. The beef herd this year is the lowest it's been in 31 years. And I'm going to get Jeff on the show. I'm going to talk to him and bring him in and talk about, the status of cattle and the status of farming. It's a complete disaster right now that nobody wants to look at. But, we're seeing this all over. The asbestos from this building, this is a real problem with this. And you're going to hear a lot more of this in the future. Something that was sent to me that I thought, when it was sent to me, I thought, oh, that's kind of funny. And then it wasn't, because other people said, look, here's more stories about this type of thing. There is a bank that we've all heard of, and this woman's husband works there. Okay, so I can't say which bank it is, but let's just say it's one of the big four. And what they wanted to do is interview IT people. So they do them via Skype, and they get these professionals, and go back and forth. One guy went through 3 interviews. Man, he was just so knowledgeable. His talent was great. So they pay to have that guy move here. When the guy shows up, he barely speaks English. He wears glasses, looks different, doesn't remember the people he spoke to. Hey, this is John. It's interview number 2. Huh? So what they did was they had people that would interview, and then they would think they were just going to send some dope out that didn't know anything about IT. Now, one thing about IT professionals, nerds, they're great guys. They're all smart guys and gals, but man, can they spot a fake a mile away. And it is so bad when these people have this. So what you're seeing is the article that's below was talking from a site called Ask a Manager, which, think about this. If you guys, I don't care what you do, if you're in HR, there are blogs, there are places you can go to that you can get up-to-date information. Ask a Manager has got all these different stories, but the story that was sent to me was classic. Oh my gosh, it was so great. All these different people have interviewed these people, and they get these professional interviewers in India, and then they send out somebody else. Okay, I did what I got you the job. Go ahead. Wouldn't you think people would catch that? Okay. I mean, you could make 100 jokes right here, but it's ridiculous. That's sunset. How beautiful is that? Okay. So share your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Okay, it's crazy. I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories. And this first one made national news, where on the 10 freeway in the San Gabriel area, there was a guy in a very expensive car, an Alfa Romeo car, and he got driven off the road by what appears to be bandits. Okay? Now, wow, this is unfortunate. They crash into the guy gets out of the car, and the guy just has his hands up, and the video plays as these guys rob him. Now, if this happens to you guys, use your cell phone, get a hold of the authorities, try to park in a safe spot, and don't let this happen to you. I'm not buying. I think that this was kind of an inside job, because the guy was a jewelry dealer from Hong Kong. Oh, Dan, you're terrible. Well, no. The guy left the next day, gets robbed, and leaves the next day. Well, where's the jewels? How much did they steal from you, dude? Come on, let's get some answers. No answers, okay? So what do you think? Inside job? Fake? You decide. But if you've seen the video and you see the story below, it's kind of convenient the way it went down. Now, final thing is Barbra Streisand, the singer, okay, Babs, she called Tim Cook, and he's the CEO of Apple, and she said, I don't like the way Siri says my name, okay? So she had him correct Siri to change her name. I'm not making this up, okay? Now Siri, I demand that Siri calls me Champ, okay? Hey Champ, hello Champ, how are you? Says it's all that funky voice, hello Champ. Anyways, how big is your ego that you have to have a computerized voice change it to pronounce your name properly, okay? Think, okay? Not making it up. Final story, Dan. Dan sent me a story. Ha, see, there's no recession. Ha 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 ha. You're wrong. Singapore Airlines first class tickets are sold out, and a business class is sold out. By the way, I'm in that tunnel by the Ritz-Carlton with that really cool mural. But again, Dan, let me explain something to you. The world is loaded with rich people right now. The rest of us peasants don't fly Singapore Airlines in first class, okay? That's what you have to get a grip on. And when these people can't afford to eat at a restaurant or buy anything from your business, you're gonna experience, oh, I'm having trouble too, okay? So good luck flying first class. Good luck thinking that Singapore Airlines, that's big time and that's a good sign of the economy. If you think that, we're going to have a world with very rich people and very poor people. You're going to see that, and it's going to amplify in the coming months and years to come, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And remember, hey Siri, how's Champ? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know how many people are going to go, hey, how do you say Barbra Streisand? You know what I mean? Anyways, think about that, how ridiculous that is. Like, subscribe. You want to email us? hello@iallegedly.com. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon. Thank you one and all for being here. I appreciate absolutely everything.